Hello again, YouTube. It is Heather back at it again. Today I'm doing the Cozy Christmas book tag, and I saw it from the YouTuber Jessie Mae, but she also borrowed this idea from a YouTuber, and I will link both of them below in my description box. Now, I think this is really fun, and I've never really done anything like this before, like seeing someone else's tag and decided to hop onto it. Nobody tagged me, I tagged me. So this is happening. We're gonna do it. Let's go into it. So question number 1 on the list is Twinkling Lights. What is the most beautiful book you own? I picked up 2 of my most beautiful books in my opinion. Book number 1 is the Penguin copy of Little Women that was illustrated by Rifle Paper Co. This is a funny shape, but it is so beautiful, and I've never read Little Women. This was a gift from my sister this year to get through. I wanted to start it over Christmas, so I didn't add this in my last TBR or my next TBR. I'm not quite sure when you're going to be seeing that video. This one might come out first. But I didn't put this in my TBR, but I fully intended to and just forgot. So this is my first one. I think that this is stunning. It looks really beautiful on my bookshelf. And then the second book that I am obsessed with is this one. This is Sky Hunter by Mary Lou. I love this book. It was a great read, first of all, but this is the fanciest, just like normal edition book I think I've ever seen. So this is what the cover looks like. If you flip it, the pages are stamped with the name of the book, which is really cool. But then on top of that, if you take the dust jacket off, the book itself is like textured with that soft texture, and it's fully colored. Like, this is so beautiful. It's almost a shame that it's got a dust jacket on it, but the dust jacket itself is beautiful. And then the end papers are bright blue. So this is stunning. I love this book. When I was reading this book, I just like couldn't stop staring at it because it is that gorgeous to me. I love it. All right, the next one on the list is The Perfect Tree. Will you pay more to get the prettiest edition of the book? Or a book. Depends on the book. I think that there are some editions that I likely just can't live without. Like I saw the special editions of the Thorns and Roses. Ugh, I always say that wrong. A Court of Thorns and Roses book. And I really loved it, so I bought it because I think it looks great on my shelves and I really love that book. But I'm not going to just buy a special edition of the book just because it exists. So it is at my discretion, I suppose. Number 3, build a snowman. Make a Christmas book stack, color or theme. You have no idea how hard it was to find a green book. I feel like this is my only green book, but this is the best I could do, folks. 3 little books. I think I did good. All right, next up on the list, Crackling Fire. What book makes you feel warm and cozy? So for that, I chose this book, The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. Now, I completely destroyed this book. I took it with me everywhere and it got soaking wet outside. I got rained on. I fell asleep and got rained on. So this book, oh man, she's in rough shape. But this book it made me really happy and gave me the warm fuzzies. I'm not much for romance. This is probably one of the only like romance / historical fiction kind of books I've ever really read. And it's unique in the way that it tells its story through letters back and forth to people, so it's not like a pure dialogue, if that makes sense. And I get the warm and fuzzies from this book. Highly recommend if you're into this kind of book. Next up is Knee High Socks. What is the longest book you've ever read? Now, I haven't read many like huge books, but the one I have read is The Host by Stephenie Meyer. Now, Stephenie Meyer is probably my favorite trash author. Like I don't know what it is. It's just easy to read and you know that it's kind of garbage, but you do it anyway. You do it anyway. It's like eating that bag of chips. Like, you know it's garbage, but damn, it's so good. So this book I really enjoyed. I've read this one multiple times. Shameless Love. It really speaks to me. And this has 619 pages in it. That will likely change in the coming year. I'm sure that I will find books that are longer to delve into, but as it stands, this is likely the longest book I've ever read. Going on along, Ugly Sweaters. What is the ugliest book you own? That honor goes to Mein Kampf, which is Adolf Hitler's diary. So I'm not crazy. The reason that I have this book was for research that I did in university on a historical project I was working on, and I never let go of it. And I don't think anybody should read this. I think that it is really difficult to get through if you're someone who is interested in history or interested in getting into the mind of someone who was as disturbed as this man was. It might be an interesting read, but honestly it's so discombobulated. His thoughts at the beginning of his journal turned into something completely different by the end, and in the world that we're living in today, you just don't need more hate. This is the ugliest book that I own. So the next one is Blizzards, a book set in winter or a book that gives you the chills or has dark themes. This Fallen Prey by Kelly Armstrong. This whole series, it gives me the wintry vibe. She has some very vivid descriptions of the wilderness in the winter way up in northern Canada, and I love it. I live in Ontario, Canada, so I'm not like super north, but my winters here are cold and gray enough to despise them for the most part. But when you get up further in the north of Canada, it is beautiful, but it is ruggedly deadly, and she describes that really well in this series. This is kind of like a mystery murder series, really, really well written, highly recommend. I've talked about Kelly Armstrong in previous videos. I really think that if you want something that's like easy to get through, that gets you flipping page to page without even trying, and you really like crime, this is going to be the series for you, or the author in general for you. Check her out. She's fantastic. Lastly, we have Home for the Holidays. For the rereaders out there, are there any books that feel like going home? Absolutely yes. This book and the entire series, Unicorns of Balinor, I was actually having one hell of a conversation with my sister last night, and we were going over the books that we read as children and the series that we read as children, that when we look at it, it gives us such a strong sense of nostalgia. Like, I don't know about you guys, but if you smell certain things, it takes you right to a certain place, or you hear a certain song and it takes you right back to a specific moment in time. That's what books like this do for me. This was my favorite series. I read this series so many times, along with Into the Land of the Unicorns, which I'm actually rereading right now. It's literally right here. And the Heartland series with horses, because I was a horse kid. I was absolutely nuts about horses. So this book really does that for me. I see the cover of this book and I remember looking at it and tracing it with my fingers and staring at the unicorn and being like, I want a unicorn. This one feels like coming home to me. Alright folks, and that's that on my book tag. I would love for you guys to tag yourselves just like I did, because I don't have enough of a community on BookTube yet to tag me in anything, so I'm just doing it. So guys, just do it. Just step in, take the reins, control your life. Anyway, thank you very much for coming and watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Also, I really hope that all of you have a wonderful holiday season with whatever holiday that you celebrate. And I hope that everybody is safe, everybody is healthy, and goes into 2021 with a bang. I know here things are really quiet. Our Christmas that we celebrate is not going to look anything close to what it has in the past years. But I'm thankful for my health, and I'm thankful for my family, and I'm thankful for all of these books. Thank you so much. Have a lovely, lovely day. Mwah.